everybody, welcome to the Waldock Way. I'm Jessica. Today's video is going to be our first grade year in review. So I have shown you what we plan to do for first grade, which in case you missed it, I will link that up here for you guys. And then I also gave you an update of where we were halfway through first grade. Again, in case you missed it, I'll link that up here. So you've seen what we plan to do, where we were halfway, and now the year's over, so I'm going to go ahead and show you where we are today. Now, technically, we do homeschool year-round, which means we never really start and stop, like, officially. However, I turned in my letter of intent to our school board in July of 2015. No, in July of 2017, which means that every year on that anniversary, we have to turn in a portfolio evaluation because that's what's required in our state. So our homeschool stops on May 31st to give me the month of June to get my portfolio together and then to turn it into my evaluator to have it evaluated and then to take that evaluation and give it to the county. Now that sounds like a lot. It really isn't. It never takes me that long to get it all done, but I like to give myself, a good 6-week window to get it done just in case, because you just never know what could happen. And, that's kind of like legal. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. That is why this is officially the end of our school year, even though we homeschool year round. So I'm going to go ahead and start with math and show you what we got done. Now today I'm only going to be showing you like the main components. I cannot show you everything we did. I will try to link some pictures at the end of this video to kind of give you a glimpse into how our homeschool went a little bit more this year. But if you would like to see more detailed day-to-day things, make sure you are following me on Instagram and Facebook, and I will make sure those links are in the description box down below for you. So for math, we use Life of Fred. And this year we were able to get through the apples, butterfly, and cats book. Now we actually started dogs, and we got about 2 or 3 chapters into it when I decided that it was a little too much for Emily. She wasn't really catching on, and so we just took a break, hit the pause button, and we worked on reviewing everything we had already learned with Moffat Girls through Math Made Fun and then through games. Now, because I know somebody's going to ask, I'm just going to go ahead and answer it right here. Is Life of Fred enough? For me, for our daughter, yes. Because here's the thing. We've tried other things, and she hated it. She hated math all the way around. And I would much rather do something like Life of Fred and her love math and maybe, miss a few things, which I honestly haven't seen anything that's been missed yet, then sit her down and do something like Singapore or Saxon that are more thorough curriculums and her hate it. So for us, yes, it is complete. We do add some extra worksheets when she needs review, and then obviously tons of games because, well, that's just who we are. But Life of Fred itself is complete. If you're thinking about doing Life of Fred, I do highly suggest joining their Facebook group, which I'll make sure I link down there in the description box, because they do have some worksheets in the files section that you can print out that go according, like, with the chapters in each of the books. So if you're on the, on the fence, like, oh, I really want to do it, but my kid needs some sort of worksheet, that may be the solution to your Life of Fred problem, if you have one. Now, for language arts, we started the year with Brave Writer, Jot It Down, Explode the Code, and The Good and the Beautiful Level 1 as our main language arts. So here at the end of the year, we are still using the Brave Writer, Jot It Down method. This is her composition notebook, and we wrote stories all year long. So you can see here we have a Christmas story, where she's got her little reindeer in her stocking. And what I love about the Jot It Down method is it allows her to find her inner writer without it being confined to what her hand, can physically write, like a sentence. So here's her Valentine's story about Cupid, and he was mailing Valentines. And then we have this really adorable fairy tale story that she wrote, a short story about this rainbow unicorn. So that is the Brave Writer Jot It Down method. Now we will still be continuing with Brave Writer. I'm not sure exactly what yet. I have to do a little kind of looking and planning, but I do know that we will be sticking with some form of Brave Writer next year. She did just complete Explode the Code 3. This is not something I require. This is something she just enjoys and she does at her leisure. So she may do 10 pages today and then not touch it for 2 weeks. And that's fine with me. I do not necessarily care how far she gets in it, as long as, you know, she's kind of doing it. She didn't have to finish this year. That still would have been okay with me. But she did actually just finish the Explode the Code 3. And when I asked her if she wanted me to go ahead and purchase Explode the Code 4, she said yes. So I will be purchasing that. And because I know I'm going to get a question, let me go ahead and answer that as well. I do take my Explode the Code books to Staples and have them cut the spine off. It's like $2 a cut, I think. And then I bring it home and spiral bind it with my Pro Click. She just likes it like that because she likes to take it like in the car and stuff, and it sits better in her lap. So we started the year with The Good and the Beautiful. And in case you haven't seen my mid-year update yet, we stopped about halfway through the year because it was becoming frustrating for me and Emily both. Now, the things that were frustrating for us are being addressed and updated, I do believe. So the levels K, 1, and 2 are being updated this year. So these may no longer be an issue, but for us at the time they were. She was having a hard time because like they would introduce something and then spiral, and so it wouldn't come back around for a few lessons, and that was really difficult. She would have forgotten. We would have to reteach it. Me trying to juggle all the parts, like the spelling, the sight words, the lessons, it was just too much on me. And then for her, she likes to complete a lesson. Like when she sits down, she wants to do a lesson. And their lessons are not meant to be done in one sitting. So it got frustrating because she would want to do a whole lesson. She would push herself to do a whole lesson. And then next thing you knew, she was upset because she had worked way too long on something that she shouldn't have done. So it was just frustrating. So what we did is we switched to Grammar Galaxy, which I actually have a look inside video that I'll link up here for you guys, but it is story based. So each chapter has a story, and then you have a mission manual, which is like their workbook. She loves it because it's story based, and anything story based, hook, line, and sinker has got her. That's why we use Life of Fred. I foresee us continuing with Grammar Galaxy because of that, because the story itself, she absolutely loves it. I don't think anything's going to be able to compare to that now that she's used it. This is Nebula, which is 1st and 2nd grade, and we are on chapter 14. So there's 36 lessons, and we are on lesson 14. So a little less than halfway through this, but since it was 1st and 2nd grade anyway, I figure that's pretty much on point. We should finish it probably at the end of 2nd grade. So we will be continuing with Grammar Galaxy next year for sure, because she absolutely loves it. Now, in case you are new to my channel, pretty much for everything else, we are very child-led. I only set goals for math and language arts, and I talk a little bit about the goals I set in this video up here, but I only set goals for those two. Everything else, she has a lot of room to basically say what pretty much anything. And last summer, she asked for Jack and Annie's School because she loved the Magic Treehouse book. So I designed Magic Treehouse curriculum called Passport to Adventures, and so that is what we did this year. I designed the curriculum. It is actually for sale. There's a look inside it, which I will link up here for you guys. Now this is crazy because I designed it, so we do it pretty much how it's written. We read all the books, we do all of the activities, the sensory bends, the art. I do not do Pinterest activities because I am not a Pinterest mama. You know I don't like crafts. We watch all the videos, we play the games, we do the Magic Treehouse Passport quiz, we do the movie nights, we try to do field trips when we can, and she doesn't do the research projects yet because she was only in 1st grade. She did do some of the writing prompts though. So just so you know, I pretty much do it exactly how it's written. I just don't do like the crafty Pinterest stuff. Here is a look at some of her student manual from the year. That was our Ice Age unit. Let's see here. Let me find another. Here is the Lion Safari unit. Let's see. This is her Rainforest unit. So if I am looking and counting correctly, we have done 21 out of 30 units in Passport to Adventures. Now this is one thing we will be continuing over the summer. I don't expect to finish it this summer because there is actually 4 units that I'm holding off on because they will tie in with my plans for second grade. So obviously that means, yes, we will be continuing with Passport to Adventures, but we are definitely a good 3/4 of the way through that. So that is for the most part what we did this year. The only other thing that I always like to mention is this book, What Your First Grader Needs to Know, because it is a read aloud that includes language arts and math and history and science and social studies and pretty much everything. And we do our best to read through whatever year she is every year. And so we have like 3 or 4 pages left in each of the different subjects, but we will probably continue through the summer, and before we start, like officially start second grade, we will have read through this as well. So that's it. That's a wrap. That is our first grade year. We have learned a ton and we have played a ton. We got everything accomplished as far as my goals for the year, and I'm very happy with where we are. I look forward to second grade with her, and obviously this is all in addition to morning basket, car schooling, game schooling, and field trips, which I will make sure I add some field trip pictures at the end. And if you want to see any more about morning basket, car schooling, or game schooling, I will leave those playlists in the description box down below so that you can check those out. So let me know in the comments down below how your homeschool year went. I hope it went as well as ours, but if not, let me know anyway, and maybe together we can figure out a way to make the next year go better.